Hey, what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. All right, man. First of all, man, I just want to talk about, I want to get back to, the birth of a nation situation and the disappointing opening weekend box office numbers. As far as the birth of a nation go, man, I listen to a lot of people's channels. I listen to a lot of people's opinion on the movie. Uh, from what I've seen from what I've seen and heard, everybody that saw the movie enjoyed the movie and they thought it was a masterpiece. They thought it was very insightful and it told a lot of ugly truths about slavery, how ugly it was, and another subject. And it went a little bit over my head. I wasn't even really paying attention to that until a lot of other people started talking about it. Due to the fact, now I did mention the fact to other people how they was exploiting Nate Parker as far as having him go around to these slave camps preaching to people, trying to simmer them down. And while his master was getting paid for it, and of course Nate Parker wasn't getting nothing, he was, his slave master was reaping the benefits of him preaching. But one thing that went over my head was like how they was actually taking pieces of the Bible and manipulating people, basically saying honor your master, which they mean your slave master, not honor God, which they do that a lot. That goes on a lot, how white people try to manipulate the Bible and parts of the Bible to try to, pretty much manipulate black people, just like when certain incidents happen basically when something is done to black people, then here come white people talking about, well, we need to move on and say we need to be forgiven. But then when we're the people that do something wrong, then we could never be forgiven. They won't ever shut up about it. So that's one of the parts I did miss that went over my head. So I have to admit that. But as I thought about it, I say, yeah, that's fact. So, I'm a religious person, but then I'm not a stupid person at the same time. And a lot of times people try to fool you with that talking about forgiveness stuff. Now, here we are, we have that dude, Dylan Roof, who pretty much murdered everybody in the church for no reason. But what was people saying? Oh, forgiveness. We need to get better. They forgave him. But then when those cops were murdered, you didn't hear them saying forgiveness. You didn't hear them talking about forgiveness. You don't see, when we do something, you don't hear that word forgiveness come up. And see, it's funny. It's funny. It's so much shit we could throw in white people's face till the shit just not even funny. And that's why, and see, they hate when guys like me can remind them of that type of shit. Because see, when you remind them of that shit, then they try to talk around it. Or they try to play that, oh, they don't understand, and can we all get along, all that garbage. But anyway, I digress a little bit. Let me get back to, let me get back to the birth of a nation. First of all, shout out to DLTL. That's all I got to say. Got a very interesting text where they displayed the box office numbers for, which proved my point. I said this earlier. Like I said, check the consistency in my videos. They had the box office numbers for 12 Years a Slave, which grossed over $100 million at the box office in the U.S. alone. Then you look at Django Unchained. Django Unchained grossed over $100 million at the box office. But then you have The Birth of a Nation, which only grosses $7 million at the box office opening weekend. Okay. What did Django and 12 Years a Slave have in common? Well, one, them movies had a white savior in it, which I've been talking about. That's pretty much the premise of Hollywood anyway. Every movie have to have a white savior. It's very rare where you see a black man, with the exception, I guess, of Denzel Washington, in a strong role where he's a strong, demanding alpha male figure. because that's very rare. A lot of times you have these movies where the black dude have to be led where he can't be a leader. Where you had Nat Turner, who was a leader, who led a rebellion against evil oppressors. And see, white people couldn't handle that because they love playing the role of hero. So that's one of the reasons why they didn't go see that movie. You know, the rape thing was a smokescreen. It was an excuse not to go see that movie. That was a smokescreen for them to use. Oh, I'm not gonna go see this movie because Nate Parker is a rapist. Nate Parker was acquitted by a predominantly white jury. That's fact. They deemed this man innocent, and I had a lot of these clowns coming on here and say, "Oh, just because he was deemed innocent doesn't, fuck y'all." But anyway, that's how, you know, this shouldn't even really have been an issue. But they wanted to make it an issue because of this movie. And like I said before, look at my videos where I predicted that they would try to sabotage this movie, which they did. Because any movie where black people can't think in themselves, can't think for, any movie where blacks can think for themselves and show that they can lead, that's a problem for white people because they have this, they the ones that have this real sense of entitlement and this authoritative figure that they can tell us what to do and tell everybody what to do, especially black people. And see, they didn't like that. And they had to do something. Now, I'm going to get to Nate Parker's movie career and the next video. Is his movie career over or is it in serious jeopardy? So I just wanted to provide proof. And if you don't believe me, go listen to Tariq Nasheem's video. He said the same exact thing that I'm saying, which goes to show you that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So just check, go check out Tariq Nasheem's video where he breaks it down, basically what I'm seeing on this video, what I said in my early videos about how Hollywood works. And I know some of y'all gonna get on here, some of y'all clowns and cools gonna say, well, Will Smith playing movies where he's the hero, and okay, but look how Will Smith is looked upon. Will Smith is looked upon as some goofball, harmless black guy from Philly. He's not an intimidating black man. I'm sorry, that's just fact. So it is what it is. I'm out.